Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. Today, we're being joined by Irene Scott, who is publishing and marketing her first book called Free Flow, How to Quadruple Your Hot Leads in Your Business this fall. Irene, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Paul. So exciting to be here.
Are you ready to get started?
I am.
All right. Question number 1. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who's currently writing their book?
Yeah, I guess the biggest piece of advice would be to be really clear on what you want your book to do. So what is the objective of the book? So it's not necessarily that you just want to sell the book or you want to get out there. Like, be really specific and clear. So for my book, it's not to actually sell the book or to make sales. It's more to let prospective clients know how I actually do copywriting and marketing. So to give them an idea of how I work, so that they can have a similar mindset to me, and then I'll know that they're the right client for me. So it's almost like a business card for me. So saying how I actually work and the people I work with. And it gives them an insight into some of the formulas I do and some of the techniques I use with copywriting and marketing.
And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
I think there's so many components of it. There's so much to do, and at times it actually really feels overwhelming. And I know that when you're sitting there looking at a blank screen, it is really tough. So for me, it was really getting started and getting through and doing every single task. And yeah, the way that I moved through that was to have a spreadsheet. I'm an engineer by background, so I love spreadsheets. So I had a spreadsheet for all the different tasks and just broke it all down into different steps, and that helped with the overwhelm.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you are planning to use in your book launch that you feel will work well.
Okay, I've actually started doing it because I've done a bit of a pre-launch. So I've got some books already printed and ready. And 2 weeks ago, I started speaking about the book. So I went to a retreat and spoke to a group of women and told them a little bit about what was in the book. And at the end of the presentation, I offered the book to people. And the most exciting part was everyone came up and they all wanted my autograph in the book as well. So that was quite an exciting way of getting the information of the book out there and getting that into the hands of people. So I think by being live in front of people, showing the passion, telling people why you wrote the book, and sharing that with them, that was a successful way to get the book marketed out there.
And then for the actual book launch, what are some things that you're planning?
For the actual book launch, planning to get publicity, so local publicity. So the first book launch will be in my local neighbourhood. So to get the publicity from the local paper, to get the local radio station involved as well, and and also just letting people know that with their ticket they also receive a book and there'll be a door prize. So that's the type of marketing that I'll be doing.
And are you going to do any type of online marketing?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Are you going to do any online marketing with your launch?
No, I'm actually doing that as a separate thing. So I've split up my book as a face-to-face launch, and then as a separate a separate marketing tactic, I'll be doing webinars with my book.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of books, I'd like to know, what is your favorite book, and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
My favorite book was Think and Grow Rich. I remember when I read that, it just completely changed how I thought. And the number one thing I got out of it, it showed me that I can be the creator of my life, that I can really manifest and visualize what I want and then make it happen. So that was a really big turning point for me.
And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
Yeah, I love Martin Luther King Jr. And the quote that I really love is, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. And that's what I live by. Just never give up.
Well, Irene, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
Yep. So the best way is to go to my book website, which is the W's, freeflowbook.com, or connect with me on LinkedIn. I really like LinkedIn, and my name on LinkedIn is Irene, Irene Scott, Scott, or you can jump on my website, which is catandkite.com.au.
Well, Irene, thank you once again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
Thank you so much, Paul. It's been a pleasure being on there. Thank you.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how you can be featured in our brand new Get Published business book, go to getpublishedpodcast.com.